Hi there, my name's Sean, and I want to talk about the Angry Beavers. Raise the anchor and prepare to set sail because today we're going after Old Gramps and fish and dips.
Yo ho, once just a plain beaver, now a fancy pants captain with a first mate named Norb.
Imagine, if you would, a clear, sunny day in the woods. A whimsical young beaver is innocently playing with a beloved toy ball when disaster strikes. A snapped string sends the harmless orb into the air, landing in the lake nearby. Its cold, dark, murky waters sure to become its watery grave. Daggett rushes into the lake without a second thought, hoping to rescue his prized possession from an uncertain and waterlogged demise. Throwing caution to the wind, disregarding clearly labeled warnings, the buck-toothed mammal treads into dangerous territory, risking the disruption of an otherwise dormant ecosystem within the lake.
Get off the kelp?
With his toy ball secured, this brave critter begins his trek back to familiar lands. A sense of smug satisfaction quickly setting in. However, mere moments into the second leg of his journey, an eerie and ominous atmosphere overtakes the lake. Darkness creeps over the landscape as a large, indistinguishable mass now separates the beaver from the world above, eclipsing the sun in the process. What exactly pursued Daggett that day, we cannot say with certainty. Only that it was large, and it was hungry, and it wanted very much for Daggett to stop moving. Despite the creature's mock speed pace, Dag is able to make his way home. Safe for now. Though one wonders if a beaver who has ever looked into those depths ever truly returns from them. The young survivor alerts his brother of what just transpired. What Dag has just survived was a brush with a creature of legend, Old Gramps.
Not the big book of scary things again!
Old Gramps is a 100-year-old mythical muskellunge of legend, said to be large enough to swallow a sweet whole. Norb brushes off the whole tale, but despite being skeptical of Dag's account, he still plays into the fantasy.
You're not Swedish.
However, Dag didn't escape completely unscathed. He shows his tail to Norb, revealing that a significant chunk had been bitten off during the pursuit. Despite the physical evidence, Norb still refuses to buy into the idea that Old Gramps, the monster fish of legend, could be in any way responsible, insisting that Dag probably just got his tail snagged on something. Dag is determined to not just prove the existence of Old Gramps and validate his story, but to retrieve the missing chunk of his tail, too.
Brain or no brain, Norby, I'm getting that piece of my tail back!
Dag unveils his plan to hunt down Old Gramps. A makeshift fishing boat, complete with a porta-potty for the cabin, and a massive harpoon gun mounted to the bow. Norb, however, is ready to put a stop to it altogether and tries to talk Dag out of it.
I'm gonna prove to you Old Gramps is a big old fib.
Fish.
What a bummer. Normally when Norb tries to talk Dag out of something, it's for his own safety, or for at least some selfish reason on Norb's part. Here, Norb just seems to be doing it maliciously. If Old Gramps isn't real, then what's the worst that could happen?
Fish.
Norb challenges that not only will he prove that Old Gramps isn't real, he's going to document the whole expedition by taking photos every step of the way.
There he blows!
Dag and Norb set sail in search of the mighty beast aboard the SS.
I only had an S stencil.
Super.
After a quick costume change from captain to crewmate, Dag attempts to flush out Old Gramps using the very thing that kicked off this whole mess to begin with. Paddle balls. And not like just a handful, but a bucket of them. As Dag dumps the balls into the lake, he waits with anticipation for Old Gramps to take the bait.
Old Gramps isn't racing from his shadowy depths to eat your delicious paddle balls.
Unfortunately for Dag, his plan backfires on him when the smaller fish of the lake take an interest in the paddle balls, using them as ammunition to punish Dag for interfering with their ecosystem. Not ready to admit defeat, Dag unveils his next course of action, cage diving his way into the depths of the lake to hunt for the behemoth himself.
Dag, we both know there's nothing down there!
Dag insists that Norb cooperate in the search and lower the cage, to which he obliges, sending Dag plunging into the lake. Unfortunately for Dag, however, this is a lake, and a fairly shallow one in a lot of spots.
This one's for the refrigerator.
Following mishap after mishap, Norb is ready to call it a day, insisting that Dag admit that he was wrong so they could just go back home.
The sea is my home, ladle.
Lady. Wait a minute, are you calling me lady?
Throughout the episode, Dag takes on his Captain Ahab persona and goes all in on whatever character or role he's playing. He tries to talk the talk and walk the walk, but you kind of end up with the feeling that he's read most of these words without hearing them sounded out. Throughout the whole adventure, Dag is spouting off sailor jargon wildly and badly.
Shiver your timbers!
Shiver.
Ships ahoy, Maddie!
It's matey.
Whatever. This is mutant, knee!
Before Norb can take his leave, however, he comes face to face with a mysterious silhouette in the lake. Its eyes visible as they widen at the sight of the beaver. Norb frantically takes refuge on the other side of the boat, struggling to get his words out.
Fish! Big! Eyes!
Knowing that they may not have another opportunity, the brothers man their posts. While Dag readies his harpoon gun, the musky lounger, Norb races to start the engine for evasive maneuvers. As Norb wrestles with the engine, it stutters, leaving the ship wide open for a direct strike from Old Gramps. The impact sends Norb flying across the boat and causes Dag to misfire the musky lounger. Thinking quickly, Dag's able to contain the leak by plugging the hole with his mangled tail, buying only a moment of reprieve as the great fish continues to hunt their vessel. Drastic measures end up falling short, and the ship takes another direct hit from the mysterious monstrosity. The brothers brace for impact, but find the collision to be a little anticlimactic.
What's this thing in my way? Criminy, move it already!
The voice behind these words is not what the Beavers expected. No big, bad, bellowing and thunderous roar, just crotchety bitching from your everyday senior citizen.
You darn tootin', I'm Old Gramps. Feel my wrath.
Really leaned into that old aspect, huh? Seeing an opportunity to finally take down his foe, Dag urges Norb to distract the fish while he reloads the musky lounger for another shot. Norb isn't interested in tormenting a senior citizen, though, even if Dag thinks that Old Gramps ate his tail.
How could he eat your tail? He has no teeth!
Old Gramps insists that he had nothing to do with Dag's tail whatsoever, but Dag isn't having it. Determined not to let the issue go, he drops anchor to stand his ground. Unbeknownst to the brothers, however, something much more ferocious rests at the lake floor below. The freshly dropped anchor disrupts the slumber of the mysterious creature. As it shifts, a silence falls over the woods. Animals scatter as if certain doom were at hand.
You woke up my wife, Old Gram, just when I thought I'd have an afternoon to myself.
Old Gram surfaces to the water, rocking the boat by simply moving due to her massive stature. As she beelines for the ship, the brothers quickly get the engine started to evade the imminent attack. The boat's motor is no match for Old Gram as she effortlessly pursues the Beavers. Old Gram opens her mouth to strike.
My tail!
Lucky for you, she forgot the floss.
Old Gram dives and lunges from the water, tearing through the SS with ease. Now faced with a sink-or-swim situation, the brothers furiously swim away from the wreckage in an attempt to escape the monster. As the Beavers swim, the view of the dam breaks the horizon. With safety in sight and certain doom fast on their tail, the brothers race against the clock as the screen fades to black. What fate has befallen our Beaver heroes? Did they make it to their safe dam? Did Old Gram swallow them whole? Did Dag ever get the missing piece of his tail back? Lock in your responses now. If you guessed that they made it back to their dam and that Dag got his tail back, you'd be right. We see the brothers in their living room while Dag sutures his tail back together. Norb laughs over the Polaroids he took during the expedition. The moment is cut short with a knock at the door, though.
Hello, I'm from Sweden.
Yeah, I know. You got swallowed too. Join the club.
Hello!
And if you guess that they got swallowed whole by Old Gram, then you'd also be right. We pan out to see that not only have the brothers been swallowed, but so has the entire dam.
I'm so sick of meatballs.
And while the story of Old Gramps comes to a close, the legend lives on. If you want to check out my other Angry Beavers videos, check out the playlist down below. In my last video, we covered the first Muscular Beaver episode, so check that out if that interests you. And be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.